My name is James Sharpe and I'm a film and video director. I'm from the UK. I'm from the Midlands in the UK. I'm from a small town called Belper, but at the moment I'm kind of based around the sort of Derby, Nottingham area. And growing up I always had sort of an interest in writing and visuals and things like that. I went to college and studied media, which is kind of a broad sort of overview of things. I did some further college studies doing film studies and photography. I've always had sort of a joint interest in film and photography. What really kind of opened my mind up and kind of got me really interested in filmmaking was watching TV one night alone in my room with a small TV on a set of drawers, and I was just sort of channel hopping. This was before remote controls were available for very small TVs, and I was just channel hopping, and on one of the channels there was this weird black and white film, and I was just, it was the beginning of the weird black and white film, and I would channel hop, but I kept going back to it, and it turned out this film was David Lynch's Eraserhead, and I couldn't not watch it. I was just sat looking up at the TV at this strange film, and it absolutely terrified me, and probably gave me nightmares for a week. But it really showed me something that I'd never seen before, and it was a certain style, you know, with the sound and such sort of unusual visuals and such a strange story that really kind of opened my eyes into what film making can be, as opposed to what I was used to before. My approach to planning has changed over the years, actually. When I first kind of started, I used to keep everything in my head. I used to keep absolutely everything in my head. I didn't storyboard. I used to do like a few drafts of scripts and things like that, but I used to keep everything in my head, and like that kind of worked to an extent. One of my first short films, which ended up winning a couple of awards, bizarrely enough, I kept everything in my head. I didn't storyboard. The script was based on a sort of a stream of consciousness short story that I wrote, and then I sort of adapted it into a script. Yeah, so I kept everything in my head, and that kind of worked for a while, until kind of quite recently, actually in the last year, I've kind of realised the absolute value of planning everything in a way. For like the video shoots I've done recently, I've storyboarded absolutely everything. You know, I use like these cue cards, these sort of records cards, and they're blank, and I kind of draw them out so I can lay out the storyboards prior to the shoot, so I can actually see visually in front of me what I'm wanting to achieve. Because trying to keep it in your head, you kind of can't see everything all at once. They kind of work very visually anyway, so there's a real value to be able to see everything before you kind of get on set. My current projects at the moment, I'm kind of constantly pitching for music videos, so I'm kind of concentrating on music video production, and I'm trying to get representation, get signed to a company to do music videos and commercials and things. I don't have any short films on the go. What I'm concentrating on doing is writing my feature film, which I've been doing for a few years now. I'm also promoting, or I'm kind of promoting, my short film Notes, which we released last year onto the internet. So we decided to try and release it online and build up a kind of an audience that way, and it's been doing quite well, actually. Yeah, so we set up a website for the film, which is www.notesfilm.com, and tried to promote it using things like Vimeo and YouTube, and just trying to get people to see it that way. And it's done quite well. We've had like so far nearly 5,000 views on YouTube, and nearly 1,000 on Vimeo. And I've been getting loads of like lovely emails from people going, "Oh, I really enjoyed it," and it's been picked up to screen before Never Let Me Go at at a local cinema. So yeah, it's not doing too bad. It would be nice to get it into more festivals, and it's slowly getting into festivals. It's just that it's a very, there's been a big explosion in film festivals over the last few years, and everyone's charging, and sometimes the price of putting a film in doesn't necessarily match up to the quality of the film festival, and it is very hard with not having any money and not having any backing or a production company behind you to promote a film into film festivals and get it seen. So attempting the whole internet model thing. So yeah, it's not going too bad.